Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Adija. Today I'm just going to have a conversation. I have been asked this question quite a few times, and I decided to just do a whole video getting into the thick of everything. So the question is, how did I become a perfume collector? How did this journey start? And where am I at now in my collection journey? So I have always been a lover of good scents. I love perfumes. I started really collecting, I would say, late 2017 and beginning 2018. That is when I really became a collector. It was now to me bigger than just going into Macy's, smelling what was in the counter and picking what I like. At that point, my signature scent was either Daisies by Marc Jacobs or Armani Code Cashmere. Those two were like my girlies. It was either one or the other. I wore Armani Code Cashmere in the winter time, and I wore Daisy by Marc Jacobs in the summer and in the spring. So those were my two girlies. One day, I don't remember, till this day I've been trying to remember which store I went to, but I went into a store. I was definitely looking to top off my perfume, and one of the people at the counter gave me a perfume to smell. And they're like, oh, you want to smell different or whatever? They just spritzed something on a tester strip, and they gave me, and I smelled it. And oh my God, I had never smelled anything like that. That was Amouage Sunshine. Still my favorite perfume till today. Still chasing that high. Still have never found anything. And I love it so much, I'm almost scared to use it. It's one of the perfumes in my collection that I use the least. And somebody will ask me how because I'm almost scared to lose it, to use it, because it's just, I have such an emotional attachment to that perfume. And, you know, when you have been using like the regular, you know, Armani Code Cashmere, I went to the store with Armani Code Cashmere money, right? I was going there to buy my perfume for $100 to come back. So I asked the salesperson, how much is this perfume? And they said $300. I was like, baby girl, I'm going home. So I went back home. But I still had that little tester and I kept smelling it. And also before I left, I took, they gave me a little tester bottle. I took it home and I kept smelling that stuff, and it just kept, like, it stayed with me. And then I went to YouTube. I was like, okay, let me research why this perfume is. And I went to YouTube and I typed Amouage Sunshine. And the video that came out from all of the perfume reviewers, the video at the top is from a perfume reviewer called Demi Rawling. And I clicked open Demi Rawling's review, and she talked about it, and the way she talked about it, I was like, oh girl. Oh girl. So I started putting myself together, and I was just like, I need to get this perfume at some point. So I ended up putting my coins together and got Amouage Sunshine. But she also, in that same video, was talking about niche perfumes. And I was like, oh my God, there must be something that I don't know about. And so I started researching about niche perfumes, what's the difference between a niche perfume and a designer perfume. And, you know, I was like, you know, and then I got really intrigued and really interested. And in the beginning of my collection, I did a lot of blind buying, right? I would go, and I had a few of them that I watched. Red Essence, I watched Demi Rawling, I watched, there's this other girl, this other black lady, I've forgotten her name. I haven't seen her on YouTube for a long time, but I used to watch her too diligently. And when they recommend something, I'll go ahead and buy it. And I had so many blind buy fills at that time, and I'll give it away. And then I slowly started learning what I knew. And my first craze, because I've gone through many different iterations of my love of perfumes, my first craze was rose perfumes. I was in love with rose perfumes, anything that had rose in it. And I started, I'll do. And then I learned to get samples. So when a reviewer talks about it, I'll end up getting a sample and I'll smell it, and then I'll decide. I told myself, okay, I'm going to get myself, even if it's a bottle per month. And I'll do my research, and I'll either get a sample and I'll smell the sample and I'll decide. And I just slowly started building my collection. I just, I was doing more and more research. I would figure out, I think After my rose craze, I went through a tuberose craze, from rose to tuberose. I went through a tuberose craze. I have, I fell in love. I think my favorite rose till this day is Portrait of a Lady. My favorite tuberose till this day is Marfa by Memo Paris. I love Marfa. I love Marfa. I also like L'Orchestre de Parfum Bouquet à Corps. I mean, I love that. I love Tuberosa by Nishane. I love Viola by Nishane. So I went through my tuberose phase. And then the next phase I went through was everybody's love, vanilla. I have been through a vanilla phase where I was just like, and I also made the mistakes that everybody like made, right? Everybody was talking about Bianco Latte, and the funniest thing is I was just going through my samples the other day and I literally had a sample of Bianco Latte that I did not smell. And I blind got it because it was a craze, and I blind got it until this day. Bianco Latte and I don't vibe, but I went through my vanilla phase. Right now, for the past, I would say, two years, I have been stuck on mango. I have been stuck on mango. I love mango fragrances, and so I have gone through different iterations, different ingredients that I love at different times, and I also go through seasons where I am not financially viable, so I don't get fragrances the way I usually do. And there are times when I am and I get more fragrances. So this is not an addiction. This is not a situation where I cannot control what I get now. This is a situation where I know what I like and I plan for it and I get it. I'm not a traveler. I don't fly places. I don't, that's my own, this is what makes me happy and I do it. The difference between a person that likes to travel is you have stamps in your passport and I have bottles in my closet. You know what I'm saying? It's almost the same thing. It's just we like different things and I celebrate what I like. And that's about it. But right now I'm really in my mango phase, and I said the other day on Instagram that I am going through a no-buy season, no-buy 2025. Just because I can't afford it. I can't be spending money on perfumes. That's just crazy. So I haven't gotten anything new in my perfume collection. My goal is to grow my social media to where I start making money out of social media, and then I would use that to fund my perfume collection. But yeah, that's how I started collecting perfumes. I started in 2018. I watched a bunch of reviewers. I had a bunch of fails. Anybody who is in the process of starting perfume collecting now, what is my advice? What would I advise you? Do not blind buy. Just don't. I would tell you to look for Scent Split, Scentbird, especially Scentbird. Scentbird is a subscription-based app where you can get perfume samples from there. Try them. I like Scentbird because their samples are pretty big, so you can try them and see. Let me see if I can find a Scentbird sample. So this is an example of what a Scentbird sample is. It comes in this, and you see how big their samples are. So you really have time to test it. You can do a full wear test on it, test it on your skin, test it on your clothes, see how it performs, see the smell sample, the scent profile, and decide whether you want to add it to your collection. So the first advice I'll tell you is do not blind buy. Do not go by the reviews of perfume reviewers. They don't mean any harm to you, but scent is subjective. So what I like, you may absolutely hate. Like, I have recommended a perfume to a girl and I thought she was going to like it, and she received it and she was like, this is crap. And I felt so bad, but it was just her opinion about the entire situation, and there's nothing I could do. So if you want to start a collection, A, always get samples. B, give yourself a maximum limit of spending on perfumes per month, because these things, it could go crazy. It could go crazy. It could go crazy. So give yourself a limit on what to spend per month. And I'm sorry, it's just long since I smelled this one. It's the forward from Mind Games. So give yourself a limit on how much you want to spend and just continue building from there. There is no rush, especially if you are like me, a collector. There is no rush to get a bottle. There really isn't any rush. Perfumes do not. You will get it at some point, right? If it takes you 3 months to put your funds together to get that one bottle, then do it. You know what I mean? Another thing about me is, as a collector, try to buy the smaller size bottles, because if you end up having 30 bottles of 100 ml, chances are you would never finish using them. So invest in the smaller bottles so you save some money from it. Also use discount sites, right? FragranceNet, perfumes.ca. There's so many, Max Aroma. There's so many discount sites that you can get really, really good deals from them. So use your discount sites, and I think that's the most advice I can give to somebody who wants to become a collector. Also, please, about your storage, find a good, cool location and dark location. Make sure you don't put it where there's direct sunlight, because you don't want to make all of this investment and then the perfumes go bad easily. So that's all of the advice I can give to somebody who's trying to start a collection right now. I started in 2018. I've been at it, this is 7 years. And I love my little collection. I am actually at the process of decluttering part of my collection. Right now I'm on 184 bottles strong. I haven't purchased a bottle in about a year now. I haven't added any bottles to my collection in almost 1 year. Yeah. I think the last bottle I got was January of last year, when I got a gift for myself. And I decided that I was going to declutter some bottles. The things that I really don't love anymore, I want to take them out. At this point, I feel like by the time I'm done with my declutter, I will have about 130. So I'll be decluttering some bottles for my collection, and then I will be creating space when I decide to get back to purchasing. I am very hopeful that I'll build my page to where I need it to be and to be able to fund that again. But right now, I'm not building my collection. But this is how I started becoming a perfume collector. I love the process. And if you have any other questions, just put it in the comment section down below and I'll help you answer. Thank you for watching, and have a fantastic day.